So now I want to talk about the difference between image size and canvas size. Let's say you didn't have the restriction of 20 inches wide for your project. You could actually add more canvas. Maybe I want to put a border around this. And maybe I should make the background black instead of white. So let's do that first. I'm going to go click on the background to activate that, and then go under Edit, Fill, and instead of white, I'm going to pick black. Click OK, and what it does is it changes that whole background layer. I'll move these out of the way so you could see, into a black background. Now, I don't suggest this for any project by any means, but just so you could see how this works. Image size, just for the record, changes the whole pixel dimensions of your image. On the other hand, right beneath that on the list is what's called canvas size. And canvas size changes the scale of your background. So in other words, if I wanted a bigger canvas, I could do it even after I've put the two images on there. So I'm going to go to canvas size. And normally you'd have to do the math. Like let's say I want to put a 2-inch border all the way around, maybe put ½ an inch between the goldfish and the Ritz in the middle. Normally you'd have to do the math, and so you'd have to add, if there's 2 inches on each side, you'd have to add 4 to your 20 inches and then do the math for the height. But you can also go to what's called relative canvas size, and when you click that, you'll see that the height and width zero out. And so any amount that you type in here will just add on top of what you already have. So that's kind of convenient for people that don't want to do the math. You still have to know that if you're going to add 2 inches all the way around, you actually have to add 4 inches because it's going to split between the two sides. Now this icon right down here tells you where your document is placed. If you click over here, it will actually add the whole 4 inches to the left-hand side, or if you click over here, it'll add all the 4 inches to the right-hand side and also to the top if you had height. I want it in the middle, so I want to split those 4 inches to 2 and 2. And for the height, I want to do the same, 4. And also I want to consider adding some more to the width, because I might put a ½ inch in between the goldfish and the Ritz. So I'm going to add a 0.5, which will give me ½ an inch in my width. And you can pick a color, and I'm picking black. Click OK. And did you see how that jumped up in scale? So now I've actually got some space to lay this thing out. And you know, so I see people eyeballing it, and there's all these cute, up here in the options bar, there's all these layout techniques where you can align things, or I don't know, it's got a million different things. I think it's better to actually learn how to do this by hand, because the minute you put up more than one image, or if you have an image that's a different size than another, then these auto align things become a problem. Instead, what I want you to learn how to do is how to drag guides to lay out your image. And first of all, you have to see whether you have what are called your rulers out. These are rulers. If they're not showing, go under View. It's located under View. And it's right here. If it's checked, it's out. If it's not, it'll look like this. So I'm going to go under View, Rulers. See the rulers come out. And I'm going to zoom in so you can really see this. When you click and hold in the rulers, and so I'm holding down the left click key and drag, it brings out a nice little line here. And I want to go to 2 inches. So see how it's aligning right here with the 2? And so this gives me a nice blue line. Now this blue line will not show up. It's just a guide. And also, if you go to Snap to Guides, what this does is as you move your image close to the blue line, it actually will kind of click into place. Some people think like you could be like 3 inches away and it'll click up there. You have to be within a couple pixels. And then it goes right to that guide. So this is the kind of precise way that you can line your image up without trying to, just eyeball it. That's no good. And then for the sides, I want to do the same thing. So I've got my top guide. Now I want to click. Let me zoom in so you can see this. Click in this ruler over here, right in the space of the ruler. Click and hold. And oops, I zoomed in too much, so I need to zoom out. Okay, there we go. And I want to do a 2-inch edge over here. So if I go back to the line, notice that my move tool turns into double edge arrow. And I'm going to go to the 2 inches right there. And then I can push this and it'll actually click into both. And then if I go to the other side, and if I go to, and remember I added a 1/2 inch here. So if I go in to, oops, I got to zoom in to be able to see this. My eyes aren't good enough. Okay. So my document is 24.5, and so 23.5, 22.5 is going to be my other edge. So remember, because I added that extra 1/2 inch so that they don't touch in the middle. And so this will snap into place right there. And if I zoom out, you will see that the layout is perfect. I've got 2 inches all the way around and a 1/2 inch in the middle. And all I did is drag a top guide, and I don't have to drag one for the bottom, because if I did my canvas right, I know that that's 2 inches. 2 inches from the sides, and then it lines up in the middle because I left that extra 1/2 inch. And then if you don't want to see your guides anymore, you can use the shortcut, which is Command H for hide, or you can just go to View, and there's the Command H. Every move that you make in a menu has a little shortcut listed there, and this is how I suggest that you learn these things. Is you don't have to sit there with flashcards. Just every time you go to use it, look for that Command H, and if you're doing that a million times, then you'll learn it. So I'm hiding the guides, and there's my layout. So that was canvas size, and I could actually go back and change my image size smaller. This is tricky if you wanted to do this. Go back to my 20 inches. Now that's going to change my interior space too, because I'm shrinking down the entire thing. But then that's within the legal size for the project.